Hello there, and welcome to Sleepy Cosmos channel. Tonight you and I are going to travel a very long way without moving at all the way to the middle of everything you have ever called home, to the very center of the galaxy that holds the sun and the earth and the bed you are lying in right now. And here is the strange and lovely thing about that center. The small paradox we will turn over slowly together until your eyes grow heavy. The heart of our galaxy is at once the busiest place imaginable and the most untroubled, a point around which billions upon billions of stars are turning, and yet itself a place of deep, unhurried order. Picture a still hearth at the center of a slowly turning house, a single warm point that does not need to move, while every room, every hallway, every sleeping figure circles around it through the long night. That is the image we will keep coming back to. The whole of our galaxy is the house. The center is the hearth. And you, tonight, are one of the many warm and resting lives carried in the turning of it. We will wander toward that hearth in our own time, in no rush at all. We will wonder together what is actually there, that famous dark thing at the middle, and we will discover that even the most extreme object in the sky can be described in language that asks nothing of you. We will trace how patient people, looking up over many lifetimes, slowly worked out that we live inside a great wheel of stars and that the wheel has a heart. We will let ourselves be carried, for a while, simply drifting along with the sun on its enormous and unhurried orbit, the way a leaf is carried on slow water. And we will sit, near the end, with the sheer size of it all, and find in that size not smallness but a kind of comfort, the comfort of being one small, warm, well-kept thing inside something vast and steady. If you find these journeys help you let go of the day, a like or a subscribe genuinely helps the channel reach others who are also lying awake right now. Others who, like you, are looking for somewhere unhurried to rest their attention. You do not need to do it now. You do not need to do anything now. Because none of this is anything you need to hold on to. There is no center you have to reach tonight, no orbit you must complete, nothing to finish, nothing to solve. The galaxy has been turning for longer than there have been eyes to watch it, and it will keep its slow appointment, with or without your attention. Which means your attention is free, completely free, to simply soften and float. So settle in. Let the weight of your body be taken fully by whatever is beneath you. Let your shoulders ease down, away from your ears, a little lower than you thought they could go. Let your jaw unclench. Let the breath that was waiting in your chest go out, long and low and unhurried, like a door closing very far away in a large and friendly house. There is nothing in this house you need to tend to. The hearth is already lit. Someone has already seen to it. And you may simply rest in one of its hushed rooms while everything turns. Let's begin. So let us begin where any honest journey to the center begins, which is with not being able to see it at all. This is the first thing to understand, and it is a restful thing, not a frustrating one, when you look up toward the heart of our galaxy. You cannot see the heart. Between you and the center lie tens of thousands of light years of space, and that space is not empty. It is full of stars, yes, but it is also full of clouds, vast tracts of fine dust and cold gas, drifting curtain after drifting curtain of it, and these curtains hang between us and the middle like the dim haze in a great hall lit by a single far fire. The visible light that leaves the center, the ordinary light you and I would see with our own eyes, sets out toward us and is caught in those curtains, absorbed and scattered, until almost none of it arrives. So, for the whole of human history, until very recently, the center of our own galaxy was hidden from us, veiled, not by distance alone, but by something almost like a drawn drape across a doorway at the far end of the house. And I want you to feel how unfrightening that is. The veil is not a wall. It is not a denial. It is more like the soft dimness of a room where someone is sleeping. A dimness that does not mean the room is empty, but only that you are being allowed to rest before you go in. For thousands of years, people looked toward that part of the sky, toward the densest, richest band of the night, where the stars crowd together in their thousands. And they felt, without knowing why, that something important lay beyond. They could not have told you what. They only saw the river of faint light we now call the Milky Way thicken and brighten in one direction, toward a particular hushed stretch of sky, and they sensed, the way you sense the warmth of a fire in another room, that there was a source somewhere off in the haze. They were right. They simply could not yet walk down the hall. And then, not so very long ago, we found another way to see. This is one of the loveliest turns in the whole story, and it is worth lingering over as your breathing slows. The light we see with our eyes is only a narrow slice of a much wider band, the way a single note is only a sliver of a long, low piece of music that runs far below and far above what the ear can catch. There is light beyond the red, light we call infrared, the light of warmth itself, the kind of glow a banked fire gives off in the dark even when it has stopped flickering. And it turns out that this warm, low light passes through the dusty curtains of the galaxy, almost as if they were not there, the way the heat of a hearth reaches you across a room even when a thin screen stands before the flames. So when we learned to build eyes that could feel infrared, eyes carried up above the blur of our own air, the veil across the center of the galaxy simply, quietly lifted. The drape did not tear. It became transparent, and for the first time, human beings looked all the way down the long hall of the galaxy and saw, dimly at first, and then with growing clarity, the bright, crowded glow of the rooms nearest the hearth. What they saw, when they finally looked, was a place utterly unlike the calm, dark patch of sky it hides behind. The very inner reaches of our galaxy are packed with stars, densely, gorgeously packed, far more thickly than the gentle scattering we see around us out here in the serene suburbs of the spiral. Out here, where you and I live, the nearest star to the sun is so far away that its light takes years to cross the gap, and the night between is wide and roomy and serene. But near the center, the stars crowd close, thousands of them in a space that out here would hold only one or two, a great glowing throng of suns of every color. Old red ones burning low and slow, hot blue-white ones blazing, all of them swarming and turning around a common middle. If you could stand on a world near the heart of the galaxy and look up, your night sky would not be a scatter of distant points. It would be a vault crowded with thousands of brilliant stars, a ceiling of soft fire, so many that true darkness might never fully come. It would be, in the most literal way, a house with every lamp lit, every room glowing, gathered around one central place. And I want you to notice, as you rest, that even this overwhelming crowd is not chaos. It looks busy. It looks dense. But every one of those thronging stars is doing the same patient thing, the only thing stars near a center ever do, which is to fall, endlessly and serenely, around the middle, held in long looping paths by the pull of everything gathered there. None of them collide. Not really. Not in any way that would disturb the picture. The distances, even crowded, are yet so vast that the stars pass each other like slow lanterns carried through a hall, near in the eye but never touching. The whole throng turns together, a great unhurried carousel of suns, and at the focus of all that turning, at the one place all those orbits bend around, sits the thing we came all this way to find. Not a flame, not a sun. Something stranger, and, once you understand it, something far more restful than its reputation suggests. For at the very center of our galaxy, at the precise focus of all those millions of looping stars, there is a single object, dark and small and astonishingly heavy, that we call a supermassive black hole. I know how that name sounds. It sounds like the opposite of sleep. It sounds like falling, like fear, like a mouth in the dark. But stay with me here, because the truth of it is so much quieter than the name. And once you see the truth, you will be able to hold the idea the way you might hold a smooth stone, with no alarm at all. A black hole is not a hole. It is not an absence. It is, of all things, a place where a very great deal of matter has gathered into a very small space, so much, so densely, that its own pull folds in around it and keeps even light from leaving. It is not empty. It is the fullest thing there is. It is mass, concentrated, gathered home, settled into the smallest possible room and staying there. It is, in the most exact sense the universe allows, a still point. The stillest point in the whole turning galaxy. Think of the hearth again, the warm, dark heart of the house. A hearth does not chase you. A hearth does not reach across the room to pull you in. It simply sits at the center, heavy and certain and unmoving, and the whole house is arranged around it, built around the fact of it, warmed by its presence from a comfortable distance. The black hole at the center of our galaxy is like this, far more like this than like the devouring monster of the stories. It sits, it holds, it anchors, and from a safe and ordinary distance, which is the only distance any of us will ever know, it does nothing to you at all, except quietly help hold the whole vast wheel of stars together, so that nights like this one can keep happening, so that there can be a galaxy with a sun in it, with an earth around the sun, with a sleeping figure on the earth, resting, breathing, carried, safe. Let us give this central object its name, because naming a thing makes it familiar, and familiar things are easy to fall asleep beside. Astronomers call it Sagittarius A star, written with a little asterisk, a small star drawn beside the letter as if to mark the place on a map of the dark. The name comes from the constellation we look through to find it, the Archer, Sagittarius, that low patch of summer sky where the band of the Milky Way swells brightest. So when, on a warm night, you face the thickest part of that great river of stars, low toward the horizon, you are facing it. You are facing the center of everything, the hearth of the house, 26,000 light years away, down the long hall, and you would never guess from the look of that serene, glowing sky that anything so concentrated and so heavy was waiting at the end of your gaze. That is the way of central things. The most important place in the house is often the one that draws the least attention to itself, the warm, dark heart you can sit near for a whole serene evening without once feeling watched. Now, how do we know it is there at all, this thing we cannot see? This thing whose whole nature is to let no light escape. This is where the story becomes, to me, deeply soothing, because the way we found it is the way you might find a sleeping person in a dark room, not by seeing them, but by watching how everything near them is arranged. For decades, patient astronomers pointed their warm infrared eyes at the very innermost knot of stars at the galaxy's core, and they did something almost unbearably patient. They watched those stars, night after night, year after year, and they made a kind of slow-moving picture of how those few central stars moved. And what they saw was unmistakable. Those innermost stars were not drifting lazily. They were sweeping around something they could not see, on tight, fast, looping paths, the way moths circle a lamp you cannot quite make out, the way the whole household orbits the one warm room. By tracing those loops, by watching one particular star swing in close and then race away, and then swing in close again, over and over across the years, they could measure exactly how much pull was bending those paths. And the answer was staggering and serene at once. All that pull, all that bending, came from a single point holding the mass of millions of suns, packed into a space no wider than the orbits of the inner planets. There was only one thing it could be. The invisible center had been found, not by seeing it, but by seeing how patiently and faithfully everything turned around it. I find something restful in that, and I hope you do too. The most certain thing at the heart of our galaxy is something we have never directly seen, and never will. We know it the way you know, lying here in the dark, that the floor is yet beneath your bed, that the walls of your room yet stand, that the house still holds its shape around you even with your eyes closed. You do not need to look. You can feel the steadiness of it. You can rest your whole weight on a certainty you cannot see. The stars at the center do exactly that. They lean their entire enormous motion on the unseen hearth, and the hearth holds, and they keep turning, faithful and unafraid. And so may you. Let us drift a little closer now, gently closer, only in imagination, to see what the immediate neighborhood of that hearth is like. Picture yourself approaching the center, not as a falling thing, but as a slow visitor, floating down the long hall of the galaxy, the crowd of stars thickening around you, like the gathering warmth as you near a fire. As you come nearer the very middle, you would notice the stars beginning to move faster, swinging in their orbits more quickly the closer they ride to the center, the way water turns more swiftly near the serene core of a slow whirlpool. And yet there is no sense of violence to it. Each star simply follows its own long, smooth, looping path, tracing and retracing the same great curve through the dark, season after season, age after age. Some of these inner stars are young and blue and bright, which once seemed a small mystery, since the crowded, churning region near a black hole did not seem a likely nursery. But we have come to understand that even there, in the busy rooms nearest the hearth, great clouds can settle and cool and condense, and new stars can be kindled, so that the center is not only old, but forever renewing itself, lighting fresh lamps in its innermost rooms. Let me take you back now, away from the center for a little while, into the long, human, lamplit story of how we ever came to know there was a center at all. Because this is a thing worth knowing as you lie here, not one of us discovered the heart of the galaxy. It was found slowly, over many lifetimes, by many people who never met, each adding a single small certainty to the pile and then handing it on and going to their own rest. The way a household is kept warm, not by one great fire built in one great night, but by hands that tend it, one after another, generation upon generation. For most of human history, no one even knew we lived inside a galaxy at all. People saw the Milky Way as a pale band across the sky, and they told stories about it, called it a river, a road, a trail of spilled milk, a path the dead walked, a seam in the dome of heaven. They did not know it was a thing they were inside of. They thought they were looking at the sky. They did not yet know they were looking out from within the wheel. The first faint revelation came when someone thought to turn a simple lens toward that pale band and found that the soft milk of it broke apart into stars, countless stars, more than the eye alone could ever count, a great drift of distant suns smeared together by sheer distance into a single glow. That was the first time anyone understood that the Milky Way was made of stars, and it changed very slowly the shape of the human imagination. If the band was made of stars, and if it ran all the way around the sky in a great circle, then perhaps we were not standing outside some far-off cloud at all. Perhaps we were standing inside a vast flattened gathering of stars, looking through the thick of it where the band was bright and out through the thin of it where the sky was dark, the way someone standing in a great hall sees a crowd thick in one direction and sparse in another. Perhaps the boldest of them thought, we lived inside an enormous wheel of suns. And if it was a wheel must turn, and if it turned, it must turn around something, and that something must lie in the direction where the band of stars was richest and most crowded and most bright. But knowing there was a center and knowing where it was are two different things, and the second took far longer. For a long while, people quite naturally assumed that the sun, must be at or near the middle of the wheel, because the band of the Milky Way seemed to wrap evenly all around us, and it is a very human thing to place yourself at the center of the house. It took a patient astronomer studying great glittering balls of ancient stars, the globular clusters, those tight serene swarms of hundreds of thousands of suns that hang in a halo all around our galaxy, to gently move us off the throne. He noticed that these old clusters were not spread evenly across the sky at all. They were gathered, lopsidedly, toward one particular direction, heaped up toward Sagittarius, toward that bright, thick stretch of summer sky. And he reasoned, beautifully and correctly, that the clusters must be gathered around the true center of the galaxy, and that since they all leaned one way, the center must lie that way, far off, tens of thousands of light years distant. We were not in the middle of the house after all. We were out in one of the quieter wings, a long way down the hall from the hearth, and rather than wound us, this turned out to be a kind of relief, a settling, a finding of our right and modest place. There is a tenderness in imagining those people, by candlelight and lamplight, in cold observatories on long nights, measuring and counting, and slowly redrawing the map of where we are. None of them ever saw the center with their own eyes. None of them lived to feel infrared light or to watch a single inner star trace its loop across a decade of careful photographs. They simply did their small, honest piece of the work, added their one certainty to the pile, and lay down to sleep, trusting that others would carry it on. And others did. That is how we came to know the shape of our home and the location of its heart, not in a flash, but in the slow, patient, faithful accumulation of small attentions, each one handed gently to the next pair of hands, the way a house is kept, and a fire is tended, and a sleeping child is watched over through the long hours by people who will never be thanked and do not need to be. You are resting tonight inside the answer they built. You may let them carry you. And here is something tender to carry into the next part of our drift. Every one of those watchers is gone now, and the work they began goes on without them, untroubled, the way the hearth keeps its warmth through the night long after the hands that lit it have gone to bed. There is no grief in it. There is only continuity, one warm room handing its light to the next. Now let us return our drifting attention to the hearth itself and ask the question that worries most people when they first hear the words black hole, so that we can set the worry down once and for all and never pick it up again tonight. The question is this: if it is so heavy, if its pull is so strong that even light cannot leave, then why does it not simply swallow the whole galaxy? Why are we not all being dragged toward it? And the answer is so reassuring that I want you to let it sink all the way down into your shoulders and your chest as you breathe. The pull of the center reaches out across distance, yes, but it weakens with distance, fading and softening the farther you go, until at the great remove where we live, it is no fiercer than the ordinary, friendly pull that keeps any star in its orbit. The black hole at the center of the galaxy does not pull harder than its mass allows. It is heavy, but it is not greedy. From where the sun sits, 26,000 light-years out in the calm spiral, the center pulls on us exactly as gently as anything of that mass would, no more, no less, just enough to bend our path into a long, slow, peaceful circle, and not one bit more than that. Think again of the hearth in the middle of the house. If you stand right against the fire, its heat is fierce, but you do not stand against it. You sit across the room, at an easy distance, where the warmth reaches you softened and kind, where you can feel its steady presence without any danger at all, where you could fall asleep in your chair and be perfectly safe all night long. That is precisely where we live in relation to the center of the galaxy. We are across the room from the hearth. We have always been across the room. We will be across the room for as long as the sun shines and far, far longer. The center does not approach us, and we do not approach it. We simply circle it at our easy distance, warmed by belonging to the same house, in no danger whatsoever. The fearsome reputation of the black hole belongs entirely to a closeness that no one you will ever know and nothing you will ever love is anywhere near to having. From here, it is only the still anchor of home. And there is more comfort yet, because the center of our galaxy, as black holes go, is a remarkably calm and well-behaved one. In some other galaxies, far across the universe, the central black holes are fierce and bright and active, feeding hungrily on great rivers of gas, blazing with the light of that feeding, sending out beams and storms of radiation that roar out across thousands of light years. Those are restless houses with great roaring fires that throw light through every window. But ours is not like that. Ours is quiet. Ours has long since settled into a low, banked, dozing state, taking in only the faintest trickle of matter, glowing only dimly. Sitting at the center of our galaxy like a fire that has burned down to its embers and now simply holds its warmth through the small hours of the night. We live in a calm house with a calm hearth. The galaxy we were born into is one of the peaceful ones, an old, settled, gently glowing wheel, turning without drama, keeping its quiet center, asking nothing of the lives it carries. Let us linger on what that center actually looks like, in the language of light, now that we have learned to see it. When astronomers gather all the kinds of light they can, the warm infrared, the radio waves that wash through the dust like sound through walls, and the rare high flickers of energy that escape from near the very edge, they build a picture of the innermost region, and what emerges is not a void, but a luminous, intricate, beautifully ordered scene. There are streamers of gas, glowing faintly, drawn into long, graceful arcs and spirals as they fall slowly inward. Like steam rising and curling above a warm cup, like the soft drift of smoke finding its slow way up a chimney. There are bright filaments, long threads of glowing matter, strung across the central region in patterns that trace the invisible lines of force the way iron filings trace a magnet, the way the faint creak and settle of a house at night traces the unseen frame that holds it up. And at the focus of all of it, at the place all the streamers bend toward and all the filaments seem to gather, sits the small dark anchor, doing its one steady job, holding the center of the picture so that everything else has something to turn around. And now, I would like you to let go of looking altogether and simply let yourself be carried, because that is the truest thing you are doing right now, even lying perfectly motionless in your bed. You are being carried. You have never not been carried. At this very moment, with no effort of your own, with nothing required of you, you are moving around the center of the galaxy at a speed almost beyond imagining, and you cannot feel it at all, and that is exactly as it should be. The sun, carrying the earth, carrying your house, carrying your bed, carrying you, is sweeping along its own vast orbit around the galactic center. A slow, majestic circle so enormous that one trip around takes hundreds of millions of years. You are on that journey right now. You boarded it before you were born. You will ride it long after this night is forgotten. And the whole of it is so smooth, so steady, so utterly without jolt or lurch, that you have never once felt the motion, the way a sleeping passenger never feels the long, smooth gliding of a train through the dark. So let yourself feel it now, not as fear, but as being held. Imagine the great, slow turning beneath you. Imagine the sun ahead of you, and behind you, and all around you, sweeping its long curve through the dark, and you riding along on the warm, small world that goes with it, drifting through the immense hush of the galaxy at a pace no eye could catch, carried as smoothly as a leaf on deep, slow water, carried as easily as a child asleep in arms that will not tire. You do not have to steer. You do not have to row. You do not have to do anything at all to keep moving, because the movement was never yours to manage. It belongs to the house. The whole house is turning, slowly, evenly, around its warm, dark heart, and you are simply one of the sleeping figures it carries through the long night of its turning, and the turning will go on whether you wake or sleep, whether you worry or let go. So let go. Let the great wheel carry you. There is nothing to hold. And while you are being carried, let me tell you how slow this turning truly is, because the slowness of it is one of the most peaceful facts I know. Even though you are moving at an enormous speed, the circle you travel is so unthinkably vast that the turning from the outside would look almost motionless, the way the hour hand of a clock seems perfectly motionless no matter how long you stare at it, though it never once stops moving. The sun has only made a couple of dozen complete trips around the galactic center in its entire long life, since before there was an Earth, since before there was anything you would recognize. In the whole span of human history, in all the time from the first lamplit star watcher to you lying here tonight, the sun has crept only the very smallest distance along its great orbit, a step so slight against that vast circle that the constellations have barely shifted. Everything you have ever called ancient happened, on the scale of the galaxy's turning, in less than a single hushed breath. The wheel turns that slowly. The hearth keeps its place that faithfully. And you may rest inside a motion so unhurried that whole civilizations rise and pass between one footfall and the next. There is a deep ease in that for a tired mind. The things that pressed on you today, the things you turned over and over, the small urgent matters that felt as though they could not wait, all of them are happening inside this turning that does not even notice them. This great slow patient wheel, for which 1,000 human years is nothing, is a flicker, is less than the settling of a log on the fire. You do not have to make any of those things keep up with the galaxy. The galaxy is not in a hurry. The galaxy has all the time there is. It is turning at its own enormous, untroubled pace. And it will keep turning long after every worry you carried today has come quietly undone on its own. You may borrow that pace. You may let your thoughts slow to the speed of the wheel. Let them stretch out long and unhurried. Let them lengthen until each one takes 1,000 years to think, and you have drifted off long before any of them finishes. Let your breath slow with the wheel too. Let the next breath be longer than the last. There is no rush down here in the hushed wing of the galaxy, no rush at all. Only the long, smooth carrying, only the patient turn of the house around its warm and faithful heart. Only you, resting, held, drifting onward through the dark, without lifting a single finger. Let us turn back, in our drifting way, to the strange and beautiful nature of the central object itself, because there is one feature of it I have not yet described to you, and it is, of all things, the most restful part. A black hole has an edge, not a wall, not a surface you could touch, but a boundary, a particular distance from the center past, which light can no longer climb back out. And this boundary is called the event horizon. The name sounds dramatic, but the thing itself is simply a line drawn in space, a serene threshold, the place where the inward pull becomes complete. And here is the wonderful, calming truth about that horizon. It is small. For all the millions of suns gathered into our galaxy's center, the horizon that surrounds them is, on the scale of the galaxy, almost vanishingly tiny, a dark sphere that would fit comfortably inside the orbits of the innermost planets, a small dark room at the very center of a house that stretches 100,000 light years wide. The thing that anchors the entire galaxy occupies a space smaller than the path the Earth walks around the sun. The hearth is small, the house is immense, and the smallness of the hearth against the vastness of the house is itself a kind of comfort, for it means that nearly all of the galaxy, nearly all of everything, is open, roomy, gentle space, and only the very smallest point at the heart of it is the dark, settled anchor. Inside that horizon, we cannot see, and we never will. And I want to suggest to you that this, too, is a peaceful thing rather than a frightening one. There are places in this universe that keep their own counsel, that hold their inside to themselves, that draw a hushed curtain and ask nothing and tell nothing, and the center of our galaxy is the deepest such place of all. It is the one room in the house whose door does not open, not because anything terrible is behind it, but simply because that is the nature of that room. It keeps. It holds whatever has come home to it, gently and completely and forever, and it lets the rest of the house go on turning in the open, in the light, in the long warm evening of the galaxy. You do not need to know what is inside. You were never meant to. Some things are simply held, safely, out of sight, at the center, so that everything else can rest easy around them. There is a relief in not having to see inside every door. There is a relief in a center that simply keeps. And around that small dark room, just outside the threshold, there can be, in the most active black holes, a great glowing disk of matter spiraling slowly inward, warmed by its own slow falling until it shines. Ours is dim and low now, but even a dim one would show, if you could float near it, at a safe remove, a faint ring of warm light curving around the dark center, light bent into a soft circle by the way the heavy center curves the very space around it, so that the fire seems to wrap around behind itself. A halo of glow encircling a small, still dark. Picture that. A small, dark center, ringed by a soft band of warm light that bends all the way around it, hanging serenely in the deep velvet of the crowded inner sky. It is not a monster's eye. It is more like the last red glow of embers seen across a darkened room. A low, warm ring around a settled, dark heart. The very picture of a hearth that has burned down to its quiet keeping for the night. Now let me say something about scale, because we have been throwing around great numbers, 26,000 light years, millions of suns, hundreds of millions of years to a single orbit, and numbers like those can either overwhelm a mind or, if you let them, lull it. I would like them to lull you. So let us not try to grasp them. Let us instead simply lie beneath them, the way you might lie on the grass beneath a sky too wide to hold, not trying to measure it, only letting its bigness be a kind of blanket. The distance to the center is so great that if you could somehow travel it at the speed of light, the very fastest anything can go, you would yet be traveling for 26,000 years, leaving before the first cave was painted and arriving only now. The light you might catch tonight from the direction of the center set out from there 26,000 years ago, crossed all that dark, slipped through all those dusty curtains, and arrives at your particular patch of sky on this particular night. Old light, patient light, light that has been traveling the whole age of human memory just to reach the place where you happen to be resting. You are the destination of a journey that began before your species had words. Let that settle over you, not as a weight, but as a wide, soft covering, a sense of being the quiet end of a very long, very patient arrival. Let us think for a while about what the center does for the rest of the galaxy, because it is easy to imagine such a heavy thing as taking, as pulling, as gathering toward itself, and to forget that what it mostly does is give the whole house its shape. A galaxy is not a random scatter of stars. It is a structure, an architecture, a great flattened disk wound through with sweeping spiral arms, with a glowing central bulge, with a faint outer halo of ancient clusters, all of it arranged, all of it ordered, all of it turning together in a slow and stately way. And the central mass, the great gathered weight at the heart, is part of what gives that architecture its anchor, the keystone around which the whole vast structure is built and balanced. Without a center, there is no orbit. Without something to turn around, there is only scattering, only drift, only loss. The center is what makes the galaxy a galaxy and not a fog. It is the reason there is a here and a there, a near and a far, a coherent home with rooms and halls and a shape you could draw. The hearth is not only warm. The hearth is the reason the house stands at all, the fixed point from which every wall is measured, the still center that lets there be a house to be still within, and the spiral arms, those great glowing curves of bright young stars that make our galaxy so beautiful in the pictures, are themselves a kind of slow music played out around the center, patterns of crowding and thinning that wind their way through the turning disk, like the long swells that move across a calm sea, without the water itself going anywhere. The arms are not solid things. They are not spokes. They are graceful waves, places where the stars and gas bunch a little closer as they pass through, lighting up with newborn suns as the gathering squeezes the clouds into fresh fire, and then thinning again as the stars move on, so that the arms hold their shape for ages while the stars themselves drift in and out of them. The way a long, slow ripple holds its shape on a pond while the water only rises and falls in place. All of that, All that grand, slow waving and winding and kindling of light turns around and is held by the quiet center, the still hearth at the heart of the slowly turning house, so that even the most sweeping and beautiful motions of the galaxy are, in the end, arranged around one calm and faithful point. I want to pause here on a feeling, because the science is only worth telling if it leaves you feeling something restful, and the feeling I hope is gathering in you now is the feeling of belonging to something well-made. You live inside a structure of extraordinary order. It was not built by anyone, and yet it is built, balanced, shaped, held, turning in its long, patient rhythm with everything in its place. The stars keep their orbits, the arms keep their slow winding, the center keeps its faithful hold, and you, lying here, are not an accident perched precariously on the edge of chaos. You are a small, warm part of an immense and orderly home, carried in its turning, kept in its arms, exactly where you belong, exactly where the architecture has a place for you. There is nothing for you to hold together tonight, because the holding together is already being done, has always been done, on a scale so vast and so sure that your letting go cannot disturb it in the slightest. You may let everything fall open. The house will keep its shape around you. Let me return, gently, to the question of what would happen if you could journey all the way in, not because you ever would, but because following the journey in imagination, slowly to its quiet end, is itself a way of settling the mind. If you set out from here, from the calm spiral suburb where the sun rides its slow orbit, and traveled inward, you would first pass through long, roomy stretches of ordinary galaxy, stars set far apart, the same wide, quiet night you know from home, mile upon mile of restful dark, with the occasional far lantern of a distant sun. For most of the journey, the center would be only a slowly brightening glow ahead, a warmth in the distance, the promise of a fire at the far end of a very long hall. The vast majority of the trip would feel, frankly, like the peaceful emptiness you already live in, because the galaxy, for all its hundreds of billions of stars, is mostly open space, mostly roomy hush, mostly the easy dark between the lamps. Only in the last stretch of the journey, the innermost few thousand light years, would the character of the night begin to change. The stars drawing closer together, the glow ahead resolving into a great bright bulge of crowded suns, the warmth becoming brighter and richer, until at last you would find yourself among the thronging inner stars I described before, that crowded vault of soft fire, every direction filled with lanterns, the dark hall opening into the great warm central chamber of the house. And even there, even in that brilliant crowd, you would yet be moving through space that is vast by any human measure, the stars far enough apart to pass each other in serene procession, the whole region turning together in its slow grand carousel. And only at the very last, only at the precise focus of all that turning, would you come to the small dark anchor and its narrow ringing band of warm bent light, the still keeping heart of it all, the one place in the entire immense structure that does not turn because everything turns around it. You would have traveled 26,000 years to reach a stillness the size of a planet's orbit, set like a single dark jewel in the center of 100,000 light-year house. And the journey, almost all of it, would have been quiet. But you do not need to make that journey, and you never will, and that is perhaps the most comforting thing of all. You get to live out here, in the roomy, easy, untroubled wing of the galaxy, where the night is wide and the stars are far apart, and the center is only a warmth in the distance, a glow you can feel without ever having to approach. You get the hearth's belonging without the hearth's heat. You get to be a member of the household, carried in its turning, sheltered by its order, warmed by knowing the fire is there, without ever once having to go near the flame. That is the gift of distance. That is the gift of living in the calm outer rooms. The center holds everything together, and you get to rest at an easy remove from it, safe, at home, far down the quiet hall, while it keeps its faithful watch at the heart of the house. Let us speak now, slowly and without any fear, about the long, long future of this center and this house, because thinking about deep time, when it is done tenderly, is one of the surest ways to loosen the grip of the present and drift towards sleep. The black hole at the center of our galaxy is, by every measure we have, extraordinarily stable, extraordinarily patient, extraordinarily long-lived. It is not going anywhere. It will sit at the center of the galaxy, holding its faithful place, for spans of time so vast that the words for them lose their meaning, far longer than the sun will shine, far longer than the earth will last, far longer than there will be anyone to wonder about it. Long after the last star you can name has burned low, the center will yet be there, holding on, keeping its hush, the last warm certainty in a galaxy grown old and dim. There is something I find deeply consoling in that endurance, the way it can be consoling to know that the old house you grew up in yet stands, that some things outlast everything, that there is a steadiness at the heart of things that does not flicker out with the small lights around it. And in the very far future, the slow grand future that no eye will ever see, our galaxy itself will gently meet another, the great spiral that is our nearest large neighbor, drifting toward us now across the dark at a pace so unhurried that the meeting is yet billions of years away. When two galaxies meet, it is not a crash, not in any way you should picture as violent, because they are mostly that open, roomy, quiet space, and the stars are so far apart that almost none of them ever collide. The two great wheels simply pass through and around and into one another over hundreds of millions of years, slowly merging their stars into one larger, grander house, two households becoming one, and the two central hearths, the two great dark anchors, will themselves slowly find each other across the new combined structure, spiraling closer over ages, circling and circling in a long, stately, patient dance, until at last they settle together into a single greater center, two hearths becoming one fire at the heart of one larger home. Even the meeting of galaxies, you see, even that is slow and patient and gentle, and ends in a settling, in a coming together, in a single warm center for a single great house. I want to dwell for a while on the matter of scale, and on why scale, which can feel so crushing when we meet it in the wrong frame of mind, can instead become the deepest comfort there is when we meet it in the right one. When you first hear that the galaxy holds hundreds of billions of stars, that the center lies 26,000 years of light speed away, that the sun is one small lantern among an uncountable throng, the mind can flinch, can feel suddenly small, suddenly lost, suddenly like a speck in an indifferent immensity. But I would like to gently turn that feeling over, the way you might turn a stone in your hand to see its other smoother face. Because smallness, real smallness, is not loneliness. Smallness is shelter. A small thing in a vast and orderly home is not abandoned, it is held. A small warm life carried in the turning of an immense and patient structure is not lost, it is kept. Kept the way the smallest sleeping child in a great old house is kept. Watched over by walls and roof and warmth far larger than itself, asked for nothing, owing nothing, simply safe inside something big enough to hold it through the night. Think of how good it can feel, on a cold night, to be the small one in a large warm place. To be a child in a house where the grown-ups are yet awake somewhere below, tending things, keeping things, while you lie small and warm in your bed and let the largeness of the house close gently around you. You did not build the house. You could not hold up its roof. You do not understand its plumbing or its wiring or the slow settling of its old beams. And none of that matters in the least, because the house holds itself, the house does its own keeping, and your only task ever, is to be small and warm and carried inside it. That is exactly your situation in the galaxy tonight. You are the small, warm one. The galaxy is the great old house. The center is the hearth that keeps it all. And you are asked for nothing at all, except to let yourself be held by something vast enough to do the holding without any help from you. So when the numbers come, let them be a blanket and not a burden. Let the hundreds of billions of stars be hundreds of billions of distant lamps left burning in the far rooms of a house too big to ever feel small in. Let the 26,000 light years to the center be the comforting depth of a home so large that nothing can rush you, nothing can crowd you, nothing can press in. Let the vastness be the very thing that makes you safe, the great soft distance between you and anything that could ever trouble you, the wide quiet acreage of the galaxy laid out all around your small warm resting place like field after field of dark, restful land around a single lit window. You are not lost in the bigness. You are cradled by it, and the bigger it is, the more thoroughly you are held. Let us come back then to the simple wonder of being able to look toward it at all. On the next warm and cloudless night, if you are ever outside under a true dark sky, away from the glow of cities, you can find the direction of the center with your own eyes, and there is a deep, restful pleasure in knowing where to look. You find the band of the Milky Way arching across the sky, that pale river of countless stars, and you follow it to where it grows thickest and brightest and richest, where it seems to gather and swell into a glowing cloud low toward the horizon on a summer night. That is the direction of Sagittarius. That is the way to the heart, and when you face that brightest swell of the river, you are facing, across 26,000 years of patient light, the still hearth at the center of your home, the small dark anchor around which you and everything you have ever known are slowly, faithfully, endlessly turning. You will not see the hearth itself. You will see only the bright, crowded rooms that surround it, the glow of the throng of inner stars softened by all that intervening dust. But you will know it is there, behind the glow, keeping its quiet, and knowing is enough. Knowing is its own kind of arrival. There is a question that sometimes surfaces in a drowsy mind at this point, and I would like to answer it tenderly before it can sharpen into worry. The question is whether anything that falls toward the center is truly lost, truly gone, whether the keeping of the hearth is a keeping or a losing. And the honest, restful answer is that what the center holds, it holds. It does not destroy in the way the stories imply. It simply gathers home, gathers in, takes the matter that drifts too close, and folds it into its own dark keeping, where it becomes part of the steady weight that anchors the whole house. Nothing is wasted there. Everything that comes home to the center becomes part of what holds everything else. A drift of gas that spirals slowly inward over ages does not vanish into nothing. It becomes a little more of the hold, a little more of the steadiness, a little more of the faithful keeping at the heart of things. There is a kind of grace in that, the grace of a place where nothing is thrown away, where even the lost things become part of the holding, where the center takes in what wanders too near and turns it, quietly, into more of the very anchor that keeps the rest of us safe in our orbits. And the matter that does not fall in, which is almost all of it, the great rivers of gas and dust that drift through the galaxy, gets used and reused in the most beautiful slow cycle, the breathing of the house itself. Clouds of gas gather and cool and collapse into new stars, lighting fresh lamps in the rooms of the galaxy. Those stars shine for their long ages, warming their own small neighborhoods, and then, when their time is done, they release their substance back into the dark, breathing it out into the spaces between, where it gathers again and cools again, and falls together again into the next generation of stars. The galaxy exhales old stars and inhales new ones, slowly, over hundreds of millions of years. A vast, unhurried breathing, and the sun itself and the earth and the very atoms in your resting body are all made of substance that was breathed out by stars that lived and ended long before our sun was kindled. You are made of the breathing of the house, the iron that carries warmth through your blood, the calcium in your bones were forged in stars that gave themselves back to the dark so that there could one day be a you lying here, breathing your own slow breath in time with the great breathing of the galaxy. Let that thought settle softly over you. You are not a stranger to this house. You are made of it. The same substance that drifts in the galaxy's slow rivers, that gathers around the center, that lights the throng of inner stars, is the substance of your own warm body, gathered for a while into the shape of a resting person. There is no part of you that did not come from the stars, no atom in you that was not, once, part of the breathing of the galaxy. You belong to it utterly, not as a guest, but as a member, as native to the great turning house as the stars themselves, kin to the center, kin to the spiral arms, kin to the slow rivers of gas. When you look toward the heart of the galaxy, you are looking toward the deep source of the very stuff you are made of, looking home in the truest possible sense, looking at the place all your substance came from, and, in the longest possible view, the kind of place it will one day return to, and be breathed out again into something new. And so the journey to the center is also, quietly, a journey home, and you have been home the whole time, lying here in your bed in the calm wing of the galaxy, made of star stuff, carried in the turning, warmed by the distant hearth, kin to everything you can see in the night sky and most of what you cannot. There was never any need to go anywhere. The belonging was already complete. You were already where you are meant to be, already held, already kept, already a small bright member of the household, breathing in time with the house, turning with the house, resting near its fire. Let me tell you a little more about the patient watchers who finally measured the hearth, because their long faithfulness is itself a kind of lullaby. To weigh the unseen center, to prove that something so heavy truly sat there, a team of astronomers committed themselves to a project that would take not months, not years, but decades, longer than many careers, longer than some marriages, longer than the childhoods of the children born when the watching began. Night after night, season after season, they aimed their warm infrared eyes at the very innermost knot of stars and recorded the precise position of each one, building, frame by frame, a slow movie of motion so subtle that no single night could ever reveal it. A star near the center moves, but it moves the way the hour hand moves, You cannot see it shift while you watch. Only by laying one careful night beside another, and another, and another, across year upon year, could the slow loops emerge, the great curving paths of the innermost stars swinging around their invisible focus. And then, at last, after all those years, one particular star did something wonderful. It came swinging in close to the center, accelerating along the tightest part of its long ellipse, racing through its nearest approach, and then sweeping out again on the far arm of its orbit, and the watchers, who had followed it patiently for so long, caught the whole graceful turn. From that single completed loop, from the exact shape and speed of that one star's faithful circuit, they could weigh the thing it circled with great precision, and the answer was millions of suns gathered into a space too small to be anything ordinary. The unseen center was proved. And I think of all those patient years of watching, all those cold nights of careful measurement, all that patience handed from one astronomer to the next, as a kind of long, tender vigil kept over a sleeping thing, a faithful watching over that asked for no reward but the slow, sure emergence of the truth. They watched the way someone watches over a sleeper through a long night, attentively, patiently, expecting nothing, simply keeping faith with the slow turning until the morning of understanding came. There is comfort in being the kind of creature that can do such a thing, that can keep faith with a question across decades, that can hand a half-finished knowing from one pair of hands to the next and trust it will be carried on. And there is comfort, too, in being the kind of creature that can simply rest. Tonight, in the answer those vigils produced, letting all that patience become your pillow. You do not have to keep the vigil. It has been kept. You do not have to do the watching. The watching is done. The center has been weighed, the orbits have been traced, the map has been drawn, and all of it has been laid quietly beneath you like fresh sheets, so that you can lie down in the certainty others spent their lives to build, and rest. Let us drift now into one more sensory wandering, one more imagining of being carried, because the body settles deepest when the mind is given something smooth and slow to follow. Imagine then that you are floating, weightless and unhurried, somewhere in the calm middle distance of the galaxy, neither near the crowded center nor far out in the lonely halo, just drifting in the wide hushed rooms of the spiral disk. There is no up here, and no down, and no need for either. There is only the slow turning all around you, and the deep soft dark, and the far scattered lamps of the stars. You are not falling. Though you are moving, you are simply carried. The way a mote is carried in the slow current of a warm room, the way a small boat is carried on a wide calm river that knows exactly where it is going and is in no hurry to get there. Below you, if there were a below, the great disk of the galaxy stretches away in every direction, a vast luminous plain of stars and glowing gas, winding spiral arms sweeping out from the bright central bulge, all of it turning, all of it together, all of it serene. And you turn with it, carried along on the great slow wheel, your small drifting self part of the immense unhurried rotation, going where the house goes, at the pace the house keeps, asking nothing, steering nothing, simply belonging to the motion. The center glows warm and distant, off toward the heart of the wheel, a soft brightness you can feel without approaching, the fire at the middle of the turning. And you drift, and the wheel turns, and the dark is deep and kind and full of far gentle lights, and there is nowhere you need to be and nothing you need to do, and the carrying is so smooth, so endless, so faithful, that you could let go of your very last hold and drift here forever, perfectly safe, perfectly kept, perfectly home. Let us consider, in this drowsy state, the curious and beautiful way that the center curves the very space around it, because even this, which sounds so strange, becomes restful when you let it. We tend to think of space as a kind of empty stage, a fixed backdrop against which things move, but the truth is gentler and more interesting than that. Space itself can bend, can curve, can dip and slope around anything heavy, the way a soft mattress dips beneath a sleeping body, the way a wide blanket curves down toward whatever rests in its middle. And the great gathered weight at the center of the galaxy makes the deepest, smoothest dip of all, a long, slow curving of space toward the heart of the house, so that the orbits of the stars are not really them choosing to circle, but simply them rolling along the smooth curved slope, following the gentle valley that the center makes, the way a marble set rolling on a softly dipped sheet will trace a long circling path around the lowest point, without ever being pulled by anything you could see. So when I say the stars circle the center, I do not want you to picture them straining against a fierce tug, fighting to keep their distance. I want you to picture them resting, simply resting, on the long smooth slope of curved space, rolling easily along the valley the center makes, each one following the natural lie of the land, the way water follows the gentle contour of a hillside. The orbits are not a struggle, they are a settling. They are the path of least effort, the easiest possible way for a star to be, the way a body finds the comfortable hollow in a bed and stays there. And you, carried on the earth, carried with the sun, are likewise simply resting on the smooth curve of space, rolling along the easy valley of the galaxy, expending no effort, fighting nothing, settled into the most comfortable possible path through the dark. Your orbit is your rest. Your whole journey around the center is the universe letting you take the easy way. This is one of the deepest comforts that the science of the center offers, and I want to lay it gently in your hands. The great motions of the galaxy are not strain. They are ease. They are everything settling into the most restful possible arrangement. The stars rolling along their smooth valleys, the gas drifting down its slow slopes, the whole house arranging itself around the dip the center makes, all of it taking the path of least effort, all of it at rest even as it moves. There is no clenching in the galaxy. There is no gripping. Even the fastest inner stars, even the long falling rivers of gas, are simply following the easy curve, doing the most restful thing available to them. You may do the same. You may let your body find its own comfortable hollow. Let it settle into the easiest possible arrangement. Let every muscle stop its small gripping and simply roll, like a star, into the smooth valley of rest that is always there, waiting beneath you. And consider, as your thoughts grow slow and warm, that this curving of space by the central mass is so smooth and so gradual that nothing riding along it ever feels a thing. The earth does not feel itself rolling along the great curve. The sun does not strain against the slope. You have never once felt the long valley you are following around the center of the galaxy, because a smoothly curved path, followed freely, feels exactly like rest, feels exactly like floating, feels exactly like lying still. The most enormous journey you are on, the journey around the heart of the entire galaxy, feels precisely like doing nothing at all, like being perfectly at peace, like lying in your bed on a quiet night with nothing to do and nowhere to be. The grandest motion in your life is indistinguishable from your deepest stillness. You are, at this very moment, both racing around the center of the galaxy and lying perfectly, peacefully at rest. And both of those things are true, and there is no contradiction. and you may rest inside both at once, moving and still, carried and at peace, journeying and home. Let us think for a while about the company we keep at the center, because the great dark anchor is not alone there. It sits at the focus of a remarkable gathering, and to imagine that gathering is to imagine the busiest, warmest room of the house, the place where everyone comes home. Around the center cluster not only the throng of ordinary stars, but also the most ancient ones, suns that were born when the galaxy itself was young, that have burned low and red and patient for almost the whole age of the universe, keeping their serene places near the heart all this long while. There are old stars there that have circled the center more times than we can easily count, faithful long-term residents of the innermost rooms, dim red lanterns that have watched the whole long history of the galaxy unfold from their place near the fire. And mingled among them are the bright young ones, freshly kindled, blue and hot and new, so that the central region holds the oldest and the youngest together, the long settled and the newly arrived, a whole household of generations gathered around the one warm hearth. I find that mingling tender beyond words, the way a real house at the end of a long day holds the very old and the very young in the same warm room near the fire, the grandparents who have seen everything, and the children who have seen almost nothing, all of them together, all of them belonging, all of them kept by the same warmth. That is the center of our galaxy. It is the room where the generations gather. It is the place the oldest stars have never left, and the newest stars are forever arriving, all of them turning together around the faithful dark anchor, all of them warmed by the same gathered weight, all of them home. And far out in the tranquil wing where you lie, you are part of that same family, a more distant relation, a resident of the outer rooms, but kin all the same, turning around the same hearth, belonging to the same long household, held by the same patient center that has held every star since the galaxy began. Now let us let the mind wander to the sheer age of this arrangement, gently, the way you might let your hand trail in cool water from a slow boat. The center of our galaxy is old almost beyond comprehension, nearly as old as the universe itself, which means it has been keeping its faithful place at the heart of things for very nearly the whole of time. Think of how much has happened in the spaces around it while it sat, unmoving, at the center. Whole generations of stars have been born and have shone and have given themselves back to the dark. The sun was kindled, and the earth gathered around it, and oceans formed, and the first faint life stirred, and ages of creatures came and went, and continents drifted, and ice came and receded, and at last there came a creature that could look up and wonder, and build lenses, and learn to feel warm light, and finally weigh the unseen heart of its own home. And through all of that, through all those uncountable ages, the center simply sat and held and kept its quiet, the one steady thing while everything else was born and changed and passed. It is the oldest steadiness you have any connection to. It is the deep keel beneath the whole long voyage of everything you are part of. There is something profoundly settling about resting your attention on something that old and that steady. The worries of a single day, the urgencies of a single life, all of them unfold against the backdrop of a steadiness that has held since nearly the beginning of time and will hold until very nearly its end. You are leaning, whether you knew it or not, on the oldest and surest support there is. The galaxy has a keel that has never once shifted, a center that has never once failed, a hearth that has kept its place through the entire history of everything you have ever known or loved or worried over. And tonight, like every night, it is keeping its faithful place, holding the whole great house steady around you while you let go of the day and drift toward sleep. You do not have to be steady tonight. The center is steady enough for both of you. You may wobble, you may drift, you may come undone entirely. And the great keel beneath everything will hold just the same. And you will be just as safe, just as kept, just as faithfully carried as you have been every single night of your life. Let us return once more to the image of light reaching us from the center, because there is a tenderness in it that bears repeating as your eyes grow heavier. Every particle of light that arrives from the heart of the galaxy has been traveling for 26,000 years, and along the way it has been patient and faithful and entirely uncomplaining. It set out long ago, before the rise of anything you would recognize as your world, and it crossed the immense dark between the center and here, slipping through the slow rivers of gas, threading past the throngs of stars, passing through the dusty curtains that hide the visible from us, traveling and traveling and traveling, never tiring, never slowing, never wavering from its long, quiet errand, until at last, tonight, some of it arrives at the very patch of sky above the place where you happen to be lying. That light has been on its way since before there were cities, since before there was writing, since before there were any of the worries that crowded your particular day, and it has come all that way simply to be here, now in the same moment as you. There is a kind of appointment in that, a long-kept appointment between you and the heart of your home, an arrival 26,000 years in the making, and you are keeping it merely by being here, merely by resting beneath the sky. And the most soothing part is that you do not have to do anything to keep the appointment. The light does all the traveling. The light keeps all the faith. The light crosses all the dark. Your only part is to be here, resting. The still small destination at the end of its long patient journey, the warm point it has been traveling toward without knowing it. You are the place the light has been coming to. You are the quiet room at the end of its long haul. And it arrives, and it has always arrived every night of your life, whether you noticed or not. The old patient light of the center reaching the small warm resting place that is you, faithfully, endlessly, asking nothing, simply arriving, simply being here with you in the dark. I want to gather now, before we begin our slow descent toward the end of this journey, the simple shape of what is true, so that you can hold it all at once lightly, like a single smooth stone in a half-closed hand. At the center of our galaxy there is a great gathered weight, dark and small and unimaginably heavy, that holds the whole vast house together. It does not chase you. It does not reach for you. It simply sits, at an easy distance, the still hearth at the heart of the slowly turning house, anchoring everything, keeping everything, asking nothing. Around it, in great patient loops, turn hundreds of billions of stars, including a small ordinary one called the Sun, which carries a small warm world called the Earth, which carries you. And you are made of the same star stuff that drifts through the galaxy and gathers near its center, kin to all of it, native to the house, a small, bright, resting member of an immense and orderly and ancient home. You are being carried smoothly and faithfully around a center you cannot see, on a journey so vast and so gentle that it feels exactly like lying still. And there is nothing you need to do about any of it, nothing at all, except to be here, small and warm and held, while the great house keeps its slow turn around the quiet fire at its heart. That is the whole of it, gathered in your hand. You may turn it over, once or twice, feeling its smoothness. And then you may let your hand fall open and let the stone rest where it lies, and let your attention loosen, because the holding is done, the knowing is complete, and there is nothing left to grasp. The center will keep its place without your watching. The stars will keep their orbits without your counting. The light will keep arriving without your waiting. And the house will keep its slow, faithful turn around the warm, dark hearth, whether you remember any of this in the morning or not, which means you are free, entirely free, to forget all of it now and simply drift. But we are not quite at the end, and there is more to wonder at. So let us linger a little longer in the warm middle of this journey before we begin to close. Let us think about how the center sounds, or rather how it would sound if space could carry sound to us. Because imagining the deep, low voice of the galaxy is a wonderful thing to fall asleep to. Out in the open dark, of course, there is no sound at all in the ordinary way, no air to carry it, only a vast hush, the deepest hush there is. But there are slow waves that move through the thin gas around great central masses, pressure rippling outward through the diffuse clouds in long, long oscillations. And if those waves could somehow be slowed and shaped into something an ear could catch, they would be the lowest notes imaginable. Notes so deep and so slow that a single one might take many human lifetimes to complete. A sound far below the deepest note any instrument could ever play. The low, patient hum of the great house breathing. The center, in this sense, has a voice, and it is the lowest, slowest, most untroubled voice in all of creation. A deep, steady drone beneath everything. The sound a hearth might make if a hearth could hum to itself through the long night while the house sleeps around it. Imagine resting within that low hum. Imagine the whole galaxy breathing slowly around you in a note too deep to hear. A vast and tender drone holding everything in its long, slow rhythm, rising and falling over ages. A lullaby pitched so low that your body feels it more than your ears could ever catch it. That is the true voice of the center. Not a roar, not a scream, but the lowest, gentlest, most patient hum there is. A sound you have been resting inside your whole life without knowing it. The deep, steady note of home. Let your own breath fall into time with it. Let each slow breath be one beat of that vast low rhythm. Breathe in with the rising of the great slow note. Breathe out with its falling. And let yourself be sung to by the deepest voice in the galaxy, the patient hum of the hearth at the center of the turning house. Let us wonder, too, at how small a part of the galaxy we have ever truly explored, and at how that smallness is not a failing, but a comfort. For all our learning, for all our patient watching and clever instruments, we have never sent anything of our own even the smallest fraction of the way toward the center. The little craft we have flung outward from the earth, the farthest things human hands have ever made, have traveled only the very tiniest distance into the galaxy, a step or two beyond our own doorstep, barely past the edge of the sun's own small neighborhood. The center, 26,000 light years away, is as far beyond our reach as the far horizon is beyond a child who has only just learned to walk to the garden gate. And yet, there is no sorrow in that, only the sweetness of living in a home so large that we will never run out of it, so vast that there will always be more of it than we could ever visit, more rooms than we could ever open, more distance than we could ever cross. We are the new walkers in an old, enormous house, and the wonderful thing is that the house is far larger than our small steps, large enough to hold every generation of walkers that will ever come, large enough that no one will ever reach its farthest room, large enough to be a true and endless home. There is a particular peace in living somewhere you can never fully explore, the peace of knowing the adventure will never run out, the peace of a home so large that its mysteries are gentle rather than urgent, things to wonder at slowly rather than problems to solve quickly. You do not have to reach the center. No one ever will. Not in any way your worried mind needs to imagine. And that is perfectly fine. That is even lovely. Because the not reaching is part of the wonder. You get to live in a house, with a heart you can sense, but never have to enter. A center you can wander toward, but never have to arrive at. A fire whose warmth reaches you across an unbridgeable distance, which means you can love it, and rest near it, and belong to it, forever, without ever once having to come too close. The distance is a gift. The vastness is a kindness. The unreachable center is the most peaceful neighbor you could ever have. Let us turn over, slowly, one of the strangest and most beautiful ideas that surrounds the center, and let it become, as everything has tonight, a thing to rest upon rather than to puzzle over. Near a great gathered mass, where the curve of space grows deep, time itself flows a little differently, a little more slowly, the deeper into the valley you go. This sounds dizzying when you first meet it, but lie easy and let it become tender. It means that very near the heart of the galaxy, down in the deepest part of the smooth curve, the slow seconds would unfold even more slowly. A clock there, ticking a little more gently than a clock out here in the calm spiral suburb where you rest. The center is not only the most motionless place in space, it is, in a hushed way, the slowest place in time. The place where the hours stretch longest, where everything unwinds at the most unhurried pace of all. The hearth at the heart of the house is where time itself slows to its gentlest crawl, where a single moment lasts a little longer, where the deep ease of the place reaches even into the ticking of the clock. And though you live far out where time runs at its ordinary pace, you can borrow that slowness tonight. You can let your own sense of time stretch and soften toward the unhurried flow of the center, until the minutes stop pressing and the hours stop counting, and you slip into the long, slow time of the deep places, where there is no schedule, no urgency, no next thing, only the long, unwinding present, only the slow stretch of a moment that does not need to end. Let time slow for you the way it slows near the heart of the galaxy. Let the seconds lengthen. Let the night grow long and roomy and unhurried, a great soft expanse of time with nothing in it that has to happen, the deep, slow time of rest, the kind of time the center keeps. Let me describe for you, while you drift in that slowed time, the great winding shape of our galaxy seen whole from far outside. The way no one has ever truly seen it, but the way we have carefully imagined it from everything we have learned. Picture a vast luminous wheel turning slowly in the dark, 100,000 light years across, glowing softly with the light of its hundreds of billions of stars. At its heart, a warm, bright bulge of crowded suns, golden and dense, gathered close around the unseen center. Out from that bulge sweep the great spiral arms, long, graceful curves of brighter light winding outward through the disk, threaded with glowing clouds where new stars are kindling, studded with the blue sparks of young suns and the warm glow of old ones. And all around the bright disk, a vast faint halo, sparse and peaceful, dotted with the ancient globular clusters and the oldest, dimmest stars, a soft outer reach fading into the dark. The whole great wheel turns, slowly, majestically, in perfect silence, the spiral arms winding eternally around the warm, bright center. the hearth glowing at the heart of the slowly turning house, and somewhere far out in one of those winding arms, too small to see, too small even to imagine at this scale, a single ordinary star, and a single small world, and a single resting figure, lying still, carried in the turn, belonging to the whole grand wheel of it. That figure is you. That is your home, seen whole. That golden glowing wheel turning in the dark is the house you have lived in every day of your life, and you have never once seen it from outside, and you never will. And yet it is yours, entirely yours, your true and only home, turning faithfully around its warm, dark heart, carrying you through the long night exactly as it carries every star within it. And to know that you live somewhere so beautiful, so vast, so orderly, so faithfully turning, and that you belong to it utterly, and that it asks nothing of you but to be carried, is, I hope, a thing you can fall asleep holding, lightly, the way you hold the warm certainty of being home. Let us spend a little while with the idea of how rare and precious the calm of our particular center truly is, because gratitude, when it comes slowly and without effort, is one of the gentlest doorways to sleep. As I told you, some galaxies out there in the deep universe have central hearts that are fierce and bright and active, feeding hungrily, blazing with the light of their feeding, throwing out vast beams of energy across thousands of light years. To live near such a center would be to live in a house with a roaring fire that never banks, a great restless blaze that lights every window and never lets the rooms grow dim enough for true rest. But we were not born into such a house. We were born into a calm one, an old, settled one, a house whose hearth burned down its fiercest fires long ago, and now sits dozing, taking in only the faintest trickle, glowing only dimly, keeping its warmth low and steady through the long night of the galaxy's old age. We live in one of the peaceful houses. We were given a quiet hearth, and of all the homes we might have been born into, we were born into one of the ones that lets its rooms grow dark enough and tranquil enough for a creature to lie down and rest. There is a deep, unforced gratitude available in that thought, the simple gratitude of having been born into a calm home rather than a roaring one, a settled galaxy rather than a restless one, a quiet center rather than a blazing one. You did not choose it. You could not have. And yet here you are, in the calm house, in the hushed wing of the peaceful house, far from any fierce fire, in a room dark enough and hushed enough for sleep, carried gently around a hearth that has long since settled into its low, warm keeping. That is a kind of luck so deep it is almost a blessing, and you can let it warm you as you drift. The simple good fortune of having a peaceful center to be carried around, a banked and dozing fire at the heart of your home rather than a roaring one, a galaxy that lets you sleep. Let us return one final time, before we begin to close, to your own small warm body lying here in the serene wing, and let us trace the whole great nested holding that surrounds you, slowly, from the inside out, the way you might let your attention travel gently outward from your own heartbeat. Here is your body, warm and resting, breathing its slow breath. Around it, the room, holding you in its familiar dark. Around the room, the house or the place where you live, settled for the night. Around that, the quiet turning earth, carrying you with it as it spins toward another dawn. Around the earth, the sun, holding the whole small family of worlds in its warm orbit, carrying all of them through the dark. Around the sun, the great calm spiral suburb of the galaxy, the wide roomy stretch of stars where we live. Around that, the immense winding disk, the spiral arms, the bright central bulge. And at the very heart of all of it, holding the whole great nested house together, the still hearth, the warm dark anchor, the faithful center that has kept its place since nearly the beginning of time and will keep it until nearly the end. You are held by all of it at once, nested inside, holding after holding after holding, each one larger and older and steadier than the last, each one carrying you without effort, each one asking nothing of you at all. The room holds you, and the earth holds the room, and the sun holds the earth, and the galaxy holds the sun, and the center holds the galaxy, and you rest at the warm small middle of all that holding, kept and carried and surrounded, safe inside ring after ring of patient care. The smallest and best kept thing at the heart of the largest possible home. There is nothing outside the whole. There is no edge to it where you might fall. There is only holding all the way out, holding within holding within holding, and you, resting at the center of your own small warmth, carried by all of it through the long quiet night. And let us linger, with the last of our wandering, on the simple miracle that you can know any of this at all, that a small warm creature on a small warm world far out in one winding arm of an ordinary galaxy can lie in its bed and understand the heart of its own home. It took the whole long patient effort of countless watchers to learn it, the slow handing down of small certainties across the generations, the cold nights of measurement, the decades of faithful vigil over the inner stars. But it was learned. The unseen center was found, and weighed, and understood, and now it can be told to you, here, in the dark, as a bedtime story that happens also to be true. You live in a galaxy whose heart is known. You are not lost in a mystery. You are at home in a place that has been carefully mapped, lovingly studied, patiently understood, so that you can rest tonight not in ignorance, but in knowledge, the deep settled knowledge of where you are and what holds you, and how gently the great house turns around its faithful fire. The truth of the center is not a cold fact. It is a warm one. It is the knowledge of home. So let everything you have learned tonight settle now into that one warm certainty. You know where the heart of your home is, and it is steady, and it is calm, and it holds you, and it asks nothing, and it will keep its faithful place through this night and every night, the still hearth at the center of the slowly turning house, while you, its small, warm, distant kin, lie carried in the outer rooms, breathing slow, letting go, drifting at last towards sleep. There is one more wandering I would like to take you on before we close, the wandering of imagining all the other resting creatures who might, somewhere out in the great winding house, be doing exactly what you are doing tonight. We do not know whether there are others. We only know that the galaxy is unthinkably large and old and full of worlds, hundreds of billions of stars, and around so many of them, surely smaller worlds, and on some of those worlds perhaps, other warm small creatures who also lie down at the end of their days and look up and wonder. And if there are, then somewhere out there, on some far world in some other winding arm, another small resting being is perhaps lying still tonight, in its own night, looking toward its own sky, wondering about the same center, carried around the same hearth, kin to you across all that immense dark, by the simple fact of sharing a home. You are not the only one being carried around this center. If there are others, they are being carried too, around the very same heart, in the very same house, members of the very same vast household, all of you turning together around one warm fire, all of you held by one faithful center, all of you, perhaps resting at the same deep hour of the galaxy's long night. There is a tender companionship in that thought, even if we never know whether it is true. The companionship of imagining the whole great house full of resting lives, every winding arm dotted with small warm sleepers, every quiet world holding its own settled figure, all of them carried around the one central hearth, all of them part of the same long, unhurried turn. You are not alone in the house, not really, whether or not there is anyone to wave to across the dark. You belong to a home that may be full of fellow residents, all of you kept by the same warm center, all of you turning together through the same long night. A whole galaxy of resting creatures, perhaps, breathing slow in their separate rooms while the house turns gently around its quiet fire. And whether they are there or not, you are held the same, carried the same, kept the same. A beloved small resident of a home large enough to hold every sleeper there could ever be. Let that gentle company drift around you now like the warmth of a house where others are also asleep. The soft sense of not being the only one resting. The easy comfort of a full and peaceful home settling into its night. The center holds them all, if they are there, exactly as it holds you, with the same faithful patience, the same untroubled keeping, the same steady warmth reaching out across the dark to every resting room in the turning house. And you may settle into that shared keeping, one sleeper among the galaxy's sleepers, one warm small life among the many the house carries, held by the same hearth that holds them all, drifting toward the same deep rest, carried through the same long hushed night around the same patient, faithful, untroubled heart of home. And before we let the journey close, let us rest once more on the single most reassuring fact in all of it, the fact that nothing about the center asks anything of you, ever, at all. It does not need you to understand it. It does not need you to remember it. It does not need you to watch it, or measure it, or worry about it, or even believe in it. It held the galaxy together for billions of years before there was anyone to know it was there, and it will go on holding the galaxy together for billions of years after the last one who knew of it has gone to rest. Your knowing adds nothing to its faithfulness, and your forgetting takes nothing from it. The hearth at the center of the house keeps its place whether or not anyone in the house is awake to think of it, which means that you, tonight, may let it go entirely from your mind, may forget every word of this, may release the whole great idea of the center and let it sink out of sight. And the center will keep right on holding you exactly as it always has, asking nothing, needing nothing, simply being the faithful, steady heart at the middle of your home while you sleep. That is the deepest rest there is, the rest of being held by something that requires nothing from you in return. So much in a day asks something of you, pulls at you, needs your attention, your effort, your care. But not this. The center of the galaxy is the one thing that holds you utterly and asks for nothing, that carries you faithfully and wants nothing back, that keeps its warm, steady place at the heart of your home purely as a gift, freely, endlessly, for as long as you live and far beyond. You may receive that holding without giving anything in return. You may simply be held. You may let the great faithful center carry you through this night, the way it has carried you through every night, and you may give it nothing, and owe it nothing, and do nothing, and still be perfectly, completely, eternally kept. Rest in that. Rest in the holding that asks for nothing. Rest in the warm, dark, faithful heart of home that needs no thanks and wants no effort, and will keep you safe through the night no matter what. Let us drift through one last gentle wondering before we begin to close, the wondering of how the center looked when we finally made a true picture of one, because there is real tenderness even in that. For most of the long story I have told you, the center of a galaxy was something we could only weigh and trace and imagine, something proven by the loops of stars and the bending of light, but never truly pictured, never seen as an image you could hold in your hand. And then, after years of patient effort by people scattered across the whole turning Earth, telescopes on many far-flung mountains were joined together into a single vast eye as wide as the world. All of them looking toward a great central heart at once, gathering the faint, warm whispers of light that curve around the dark. And from all those whispers, carefully woven together over long, quiet months, there emerged at last a picture, a soft ring of warm light curving all the way around a small dark center, exactly as the gentlest predictions had promised, a halo of glow encircling a tranquil heart, the very portrait of a banked fire seen across a darkened room. We had, at last, looked upon the shape of a galactic heart, and it was not a horror. It was a soft, warm ring around a dark, serene middle, round and patient, the truest picture of a hearth there could ever be. Imagine the quiet wonder of the people who first saw that image take shape, after all those years of weaving faint light into form, watching the soft ring slowly emerge from the dark, like a face long imagined and finally seen. They did not flinch from it. They wept, some of them, not from fear, but from the tenderness of finally meeting, face to face, the thing their whole lives had been spent reaching toward, the warm ring around the serene center, the heart of the house made visible at last. And now that image exists in the world, a soft glowing ring around a tranquil dark, a thing you could picture as you fall asleep, the gentle round portrait of a galaxy's heart, and you may carry it down into rest with you, that soft warm ring, that serene center, that round face of home glowing patiently in the dark. And the very same kind of heart sits at the center of our own galaxy, our own soft warm ring, around our own tranquil dark, 26,000 light years down the long hall, glowing faintly, keeping its quiet, holding the whole great house together, while you rest in the outer rooms. We have looked toward it with our worldwide eye, and we have begun to draw its gentle round portrait too, and one day, perhaps, you might see it clearly, the warm ring around the serene center of your own home, the round face of the hearth at the heart of your own slowly turning house. But you do not need to wait for that. You may picture it now, soft and round and warm and still, glowing patiently at the center of everything. And you may let that calm round glow be the last image in your mind as you drift. The gentle face of home, the warm ring around the quiet dark, keeping its faithful place at the heart of the turning house, while you, its small, warm, distant kin, let go and drift down into rest. And so, as the night draws long around you, let us gather all of this together one last time, slowly, the way a house grows hushed at the end of the day. Tonight has been about the heart of our galaxy, that famous dark thing at the very center, and how it is not a mouth in the dark, but a still hearth at the center of a slowly turning house. Tonight has been about the veil of dust that hid the center for so long, and the warm low light that finally let us see through it. Tonight has been about the great gathered weight at the heart, heavy but never greedy, holding the whole house together from an easy and untroubled distance. Tonight has been about the throng of inner stars turning serenely around the hearth, the patient watchers who weighed the unseen center across long faithful years, and the great slow turning that carries you, even now, around the heart of everything, without your ever feeling it move. Tonight has been about being made of star stuff, kin to the whole house, native to the home you can never fully explore. And tonight, more than anything, has been about being held, nested inside, holding after holding, kept and carried and asked for nothing at all. The center holds the galaxy. The center holds the galaxy. The center holds the galaxy, and the galaxy holds the sun, and the sun holds the earth, and the earth holds you. You are carried. You are carried. You are carried smoothly and faithfully around the warm, dark heart of home, and you have never once had to do a thing to deserve it. You are home. You are home. You are home, and you always have been, and you always will be, a small, warm member of an immense and ancient house, kept by a hearth that has never once failed. None of this needs anything from you tonight. The center does not need your watching. The stars do not need your counting. The light does not need your waiting. The great house will keep its slow, faithful turn around the quiet fire at its heart, whether you remember a single word of this, or forget all of it the moment your eyes close, which means you may let go of it completely now. Every fact, every image, every word, and simply drift, held by a home that asks for nothing. When this journey ends, another quiet exploration is already waiting on the screen. Another slow wandering through the wonders of the dark, ready to carry you gently onward if you would like it to. You do not need to choose it. You do not need to do anything. Let it begin on its own, in its own time, and let its low voice carry you deeper into rest, the way the great low hum of the galaxy has been carrying you all along. There is nothing to reach for. The next gentle journey will find you on its own, and if some small part of you is still drifting near the surface, here is one easy question to carry down into sleep with you. Nothing to answer now, only something to wonder at as you fade. If you could float, weightless and unhurried, anywhere in the whole great winding house of our galaxy, near the warm crowded center, or far out in the quiet roomy arms, where would you let yourself drift to rest? You do not have to decide. Let the question turn slowly in the dark, like a far lantern in a vast and friendly hall, and let it carry you down. Now let your attention come back, one last time, to your own warm body, resting here in the quiet wing of the galaxy. Feel the weight of you held fully by whatever lies beneath you. Feel your shoulders, low and easy now, far from your ears. Feel your jaw unclenched, your hands open, your breath long and low and unhurried, going out like a door closing very far away in a large and friendly house. There is nothing in this house you need to tend to. The hearth is lit. Someone has long since seen to it. The great wheel is turning faithfully around its warm, dark heart, carrying you smoothly through the long, hushed night, asking nothing, needing nothing, keeping you safe. Let the center hold you. Let the galaxy turn slowly around you. Let yourself be carried, weightless and untroubled, drifting at the easy edge of the great house made of star stuff, kin to everything, home at last and always. Let your thoughts slow to the pace of the wheel. Let the long, low hum of the galaxy sing beneath you. Let the warm, dark hearth keep its faithful place at the heart of your home while you let go, and go softer, and drift down, and down, and down, into the deep, slow time of the center, into the long, roomy night, into rest. You are carried. You are home. You are held. Sleep well.